It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports, Pete.
Get ready for epic savings at Best Buy. Right now, you can save up to $700 on select Alienware and Dell gaming products. Perfect for leveling up your gaming experience. Plus, grab the latest Android Google Pixel at an unbeatable price. Don't miss these incredible deals. Shop now at BestBuy.com and upgrade your tech today.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level when we shut down to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
At Rolls Rolo, we don't just sell wallpaper, we create cohesive, cozy spaces. Our deep understanding of design means every pattern, color, and texture is carefully chosen to complement your home. Plus, we use advanced technology and water-based inks for vibrant, eco-friendly prints, ensuring a healthier environment. Visit rollsrolla.com to transform your space today. That's ROLLSROLLA.com today. At 25 Home, our ultimate goal is to provide you with a transformative experience, making each day feel like it has an extra hour. We believe your home is more than just a space, it's a sanctuary where comfort, relaxation, and happiness thrive. Discover the difference at 25 Home today. Shop now at 25home.com.
Here we are, the Pete Sousa Show. Pete Sousa, Zach Burke. Zach Burke is coming over from Zach Owen. And this dude has been working his ass off, like a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. Can you say that anymore? I'm sure you can. The Pete Sousa Show is presented by Daniel Stark Injury Lawyers. Of course, it was presented by Slovacics, but our good friends at Daniel Stark Injury Lawyers also make this possible. Crawford Austin Property, Socorro Family Ford, the whole deal, the whole kit and caboodle. We want to thank everybody, of course, D1 as well. I don't know about you guys, but I was knee-deep in college basketball yesterday. Cam actually will tell you that he's like a super college hoops fan, but he was watching Karen Reed. I know that for a fact. He tried to tell me that basketball was boring. And he had to watch that. So I was watching basketball. That's why you probably want to watch this show. But yeah, big game for Baylor coming up literally in about 30 minutes. We're a little behind today, like we mentioned. Zach was over at the I was going to say Zach and Owen show. I just made 3 of them. No, he was over at the Zach Owen show. I was over at McGregor Elementary School with my buddy Julie Hayes talking to kids on career day, which was a lot of fun. And here we are. And Baylor is getting set as a 1.5-point underdog to start a run in March. Little game preview as we get set for this, okay? Mississippi State is a 1.5-point favorite, like I mentioned. I have reasons to believe that Baylor will win today, and I want to share them with you. We talked earlier this week with Cam, and it's very, very possible that Baylor does have a lot of the intangibles that it takes to go on a run as an underdog in the tournament. You've got the pressure is off you, okay? It really is. Like, you're playing with house money. You've got a coach who knows exactly how to do it and knows that it's one game at a time and is one of the best coaches in the country. You also have a team that found a way to retool very late in the season after a devastating injury to Josh Ojamwuda. And with that team now, you have an opportunity to play small ball and to keep the rhythm going that you've developed. Down the stretch, it started, they bottomed out at that game at Colorado when they lost to the worst team in the conference, right? I mean, a loss like that, a loss to Colorado in the Big 12 tournament got West Virginia out of the NCAA tournament. And Baylor hit bottom out there in Boulder. I was calling that game when they lost to Colorado. But since then, there's been a lot more chemistry. In that game, Jaden Nunn was hurt. The game at Colorado. Obviously, they're as healthy as they can be at this stage in the season. But you have veterans like Jeremy Roach, and you've got Norshad Umir, and you have a team that has the veterans, and also you got the youth, right? You've got you need VJ Edgecombe to get really hot. You need him, as we were talking with Cam a couple days ago. I believe he needs to be like a hot goalie in the NHL playoffs. Like, you can ride a hot goalie to a championship, right? And here's something like a number I was just looking up today, and it speaks to how well Baylor has been playing down the stretch. They lost to, I wrote it down here because I was looking at their schedule. So we look at the back half of their season as really we say, well, it absolutely sucked. Okay, kinda. But yeah, we have to understand too and remember a lot of the context and what we're operating out of is the fact that this team was a top 10 team to start the season. And the second half of the season, you could say it was rough, right? But the last 5 games, they won 3 of the last 5 games. And the 2 that they lost were to Houston and Texas Tech by a combined 6 points. So that's reason to feel optimistic as you get set to go into this game. Now, particularly when you speak about the game today itself, you've got to stop Josh Hubbard. If Josh Hubbard has a big game, you're going to probably lose. There's a reason why Baylor is a 1.5-point underdog. There is also something that play though here too. When you think about, I was deep diving. I'm not huge in like the statistical. And once the game starts, I hate once the game starts. For some reason, this is how I operate. And they're telling me, okay, Baylor's down 21-0 in a football game. They have a 13% chance of winning. I don't like that once the game starts, but I do like it before. And the ESPN predictor has Baylor as a 62% chance of winning this game. That's about to tip here. And one of the cool things about this game too is you have the number 1 CBS broadcast team. And I don't want to get ahead of myself. But when I say the number 1 CBS broadcast team, Ian Eagle, Grant Hill, Tracy Wolfson, right? Going to be awesome. But when you look at the winning percentage chance, that 62% chance, we can have fun, right? We say that, okay, that puts them up against Duke in the second round because Duke's going to play Mount St. Mary's in a little bit. Now, that game will follow Baylor. all this going on in Raleigh, North Carolina. Bad news out of the Duke camp, if you're a Baylor fan. Cooper Flagg is pain-free. When I hear that, like, that actually sounds like they're telling the truth. Like, the pain-free thing, that's like, oh, wait, hold on. We got Bear the Truth talking? Okay, is there a question there, Zach, from Bear the Truth? No questions, just comments? What's he saying? What's the first one say? I can't read it from here.
No, you're good. So the first one we had that I put up was BU by 11 today.
Okay.
And then the second one was coaching staff has come a long way in the last half of the season.
That's it, dude. Bear the Truth, telling us what's going down. I think that is a great example of a team taking a while to gel throughout the season and parts of the team even being parts of the coaching staff. You had 2 brand new assistant coaches. You had 2 seasoned, very bright assistant coaches leave and go to different places at the end of last year. And yeah, that's what they call like the old brain drain. John Jacobs and Alvin Brooks. Jacobs, the head coach now, Brooks, an assistant, remaining alive, by the way. He's at Kentucky. Big game for him today. Yeah, the ability to kind of find a way and figure things out and find a way to work together for this coaching staff. Yeah, they have come a long way, and that's a great point. One of the only things that I feel like Baylor is really missing, we need like a gimmick. I was thinking about this morning, like the Kid Khan. By the way, the manager for McNeese, that's probably one of the coolest things I have seen in like a very, very long time in the tournament. Like, that's not a gimmick. It is kind of a good luck charm, but not necessarily a gimmick. Look, I'm Catholic, and I think Sister Jean is a gimmick in a sense that, like, it was a real deal for a little bit, but I feel like I know for a fact, like, Sister Jean, I'm about to vilify Sister Jean, but she really inserts herself into a lot of situations there. That's all I'm going to say. Sister Jean loves the spotlight, okay? Much to the chagrin sometimes of the basketball operations staff. I'm just saying, all right? I have a little... just a little information there. That pesky Sister Jean. But yeah, so Baylor doesn't have a Sister Jean. They don't have the manager with the boombox. Like, it'd be great to get like a gimmick going, you know? I don't know if that's like we ship Cam out to Raleigh and have him like maybe I could see, well, no, Baylor. Cam could be like a leprechaunish bear. I don't know. The guy like this clearly needs some work, but if they were to develop a gimmick along the road to a little run here in March, that would be kind of neat. But yeah, I'm excited and optimistic about Baylor. I really am. One thing I've noticed too, and my friend John Gallagher, who's the head coach of Hartford, was the head coach of Hartford when Baylor won the title in 2021. He was the first opponent that Baylor faced in the first round. But he says Baylor, and if you and I apologize in advance for some of my native Northeasterners like myself who pronounce Baylor the wrong way. They say Baylor. And I was listening to Adam Shine this morning, Shine on Sports, who's actually really good. I was driving out to talk to the kids at McGregor, and I had it on. And he says Baylor. You know, he's Baylor. He's Shine on Sports is great because he's like a Mike Francesa. Like old school New York talk radio. You could tell that's how he was raised. He's got that Syracuse, this is on Sirius Radio, by the way, Sports Talk. He's got that Syracuse kind of like delivery, which can kind of be a little highbrow sometimes, but the way he does it, I think it's kind of perfect. And yeah, he's got relationships with coaches. He knows how to do that. He was talking about this morning how close he is with Kevin Willard at Maryland because of when Willard was at Seton Hall. That situation is crazy, by the way. So let's talk about the coaches real quick. So Will Wade wins yesterday, okay? And Will Wade, after he pulls off a huge upset against Clemson played terrible in the first half. Jay Bill said it was like the worst performance in a first half he's ever seen. Like, this time of year, you just don't want Jay Billis taking you to task because if he's doing it, it's over for you, right? So he said that was the worst first half of basketball he'd seen and played by Clemson. So Clemson loses to McNeese. Will Wade is all but gone to North Carolina State. Yesterday, Jeff Goodman tweeted that he hasn't signed the contract yet at NC State, but they've agreed that Will Wade will be the next coach at NC State. He pulls off this upset against Clemson. And after the game, he's answering questions about the fact that now you want to talk about a new day. I think this is pretty cool because it's like making the best of the situation. And it's just being honest and transparent. Everybody knows Will Wade's going to go to NC State. So he beats Clemson. He's in the post-game press conference, and people are talking to him about going to NC State. And not that he was like diverting attention and being like nefarious by doing this, but he mentioned, hey, there's coaches here right now. Schools are trying to buy them out, right? And nobody's talking about that. And like, I'm being honest and open. And I thought about it, and in the NIL world, right? And when he says that, like, there's rumors that Kevin Willard could be up for the Villanova job. But if he's going to take the job at Villanova, Villanova has to buy out the rest of his Maryland contract because all those contracts have buyouts. The same thing for Mick Cronin at UCLA. Like, there's talk that Mick Cronin could be in the mix for the Villanova job. But these are just two. This is just one job, the Villanova job. It's bringing in two huge names. Like, Mick Cronin would have to get bought out at UCLA by Villanova. So all this stuff is going on. You know, these coaches are operating. It's kind of like clandestine, you know, over here, like in back rooms. And Will Wade's like, yeah, I'm here. I took the job at NC State. Like, yep. And when you think about today's athlete and the scenarios of what we're seeing in college basketball, roster-wise, roster makeup-wise, and just how nimble some of the coaching situations are, he's sitting there and you could almost see him, you know, I'm not in the locker room, but it would make sense if you could see him saying to his team, like, let's make one last run. Let's put a bow on this amazing season together. Because if everybody does their job at McNeese, everybody should be playing somewhere else next season, right? Like, if everybody plays really well at McNeese, everybody will probably be playing somewhere else next year for more money. We know that Will Wade will be coaching somewhere else where that's more prestigious and he'll make more money. And the charm is kind of gone in a sense that I'm not saying these players don't care about McNeese. They probably have had amazing experiences going to school there, and they've had amazing connections that they've made with the folks around the university. I'm not denying any of that, and I'm not denying the camaraderie you get from playing a team sport in college and the connection you make with your teammates, or the experience, the collegiate experience that I think can really lend a lot to people and that are, you know, young people that are in school. So that's just like, that's something that I think is very interesting, that it's just a brand new day for all this stuff. And it, like, you know, when I was a kid, Bill Frieder was head coach of Michigan in 1989, and he took the job at Arizona State. And it was made public before the NCAA tournament. Many of you remember this probably. It was made public before the NCAA tournament that Bill Frieder was going to take the job at Arizona. And Michigan's athletic director at the time, Bo Schembechler, was like, nah, like, Bill Frieder is the coach of Arizona State. He is not coaching. He is not coaching my Michigan team. I want a Michigan man coaching a Michigan team. Steve Fisher becomes the head coach at Michigan, takes over for Bill Frieder, and they go and they win a national championship, which was like completely insane in its own right. But that decision that Bo Schembechler made is not a decision that really, it doesn't age well. To make that decision today would go against a productive NCAA tournament for your team. And so it's just so interesting now. You wouldn't hear that happen anymore because you want Will Wade to go to the championship and get your – look, McNeese, everybody's winning, by the way. Everybody's winning because people, bozos like me who's breaking down this situation, most people don't care about that. Some young person in Louisiana is sitting at home watching the NCAA tournament, and they're seeing McNeese doing well, right? And that will probably up the enrollment for McNeese next year. And the school overall wins from this. The school overall gets money for this, right? Their conference gets money because they get money. So like everybody wins, and it's all kind of moving all the way to the TV dollars that have us all watching this stuff. So it's not a bad look. It's just a completely different look. It's totally changed. All right, we'll be back. Baylor about 15 minutes from tip. We are excited for that one. They are in Raleigh. We are in Waco, the Pete Sousa Show. I got an NIT game on ESPN on Saturday night, another game at Stanford and Kent State on ESPN2. No, the game's Sunday. I'm leaving Saturday. So you might even be, if you're flipping around, check it out. That kid, Max Reynaud, is unbelievable, the kid on Stanford. Also, the Baylor women's team is playing this afternoon, right after the men's team. I mean, come on. This is a great day. We'll be back after this.
We'll be right back after these quick words from our sponsors. This is Rogue Media Network.
Founded in 1910, Samsonite is the world leader in durable, high-quality luggage and travel accessories. Made to the highest standards, our products won't let you down. We give you the confidence to get out there and explore. Inspired by the past, devoted to the present, and built to inspire a multi-generational future, Samsonite is here to elevate your journey. Travel with Samsonite and pack confidence every step of the way. Shop now at shop.samsonite.com. Samsonite. Dive into adventure with scuba.com, your ultimate destination for top-tier scuba and snorkeling gear. With over 20 years of experience, our expert staff, who've dived everywhere from the Galapagos to the Maldives, provides personalized advice to help you find the perfect gear for any underwater journey. Shop leading brands like GoPro, Aqualung, and Scuba Pro. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, trust scuba.com for the best in diving equipment and expert guidance. Explore now at scuba.com. That's SCUBA.com. Scuba.com. At Terrapin Ridge Farms, they believe in the joy of effortless entertaining. Inspired by CEO Mary O'Donnell's mom and her legendary holiday parties, they've crafted a line of gourmet foods that turn any meal into a celebration. From savory jams to mustards, aiolis, and more, their products are made with love, bringing unforgettable flavors to your table. Whether it's a casual get-together or a special occasion, they make it easy to impress. Terrapin Ridge Farms, where great food and great memories come together. Visit them at terrapinridge.com. Terrapin Ridge. Want to turn your passion into profit? With Blogify, creating a blog has never been easier. Build, customize, and grow your site with powerful tools designed for beginners and pros alike. Start sharing your story today and watch your audience grow with Blogify. Visit blogify.ai today for a free 3-day trial. That's Blogify, BLOGIFY.ai today.
And now, back to our show.
We're back here at the Pete Sousa Show, Rogue Media Network. We are presented by Slovacics. Thank you very much to Slovacics. We got some great stuff going, by the way. This network is it's good stuff, man. The Rogue Media Network is fantastic. We got shows. We got the Texas Rangers, not like the baseball team, but the law enforcement agency is going to do a show here. We got like hospitals and medical centers doing shows here. Pretty cool deal. So we're running and gunning here as this thing continues to grow in the sports arm as well. All kinds of live sports, live high school sports. Good stuff brewing. Hopefully some good stuff will be brewing for Baylor today. I was in here earlier. I was telling Zach, and it's a big day. It's March Madness. And Zach was doing double duty. He was over at Zach Owen's show. I had the chance to go talk to the kids at McGregor with my buddy Julie Hayes today, so I was out there. So we got started here a little later, and I put on the YouTube TV, and Mike Hamilton's he's the godfather around here, right? He's like the executive vice president or whatever of operations, and he's got his YouTube TV is logged in right on the monitor, and I swear to God, there must have been 13 people logged in on Mike's account. You have the different icons for people that are going. There's no way you should be able to get up to more than 7 or 8 icons before YouTube TV gets involved, but. Hey, the more the merrier, I guess. Poor Mike. I can't, how many times has Mike been kicked out of his account by one of his family members? I bet a lot. And that's just Mike he's one of the best guys ever. So breaking down a little bit more of this Baylor game, okay? Rebounds are going to be huge for Baylor. Kashawn Murphy is a very good player for Mississippi State, and Norchad Omier, obviously, is one of the best rebounders in the country. Keeping Murphy off the glass is going to be huge. It really is going to be huge. If he gets up to around 10 rebounds, and especially offensive rebounds. If Mississippi State can win the battle of the offensive rebounding game and give themselves second and third opportunities, it's just not going to be good for Baylor. Because Omir's going to have to work harder. He could quite possibly get into foul trouble. If Norchad, now he has gotten so much better at staying out of foul trouble recently. A couple times, you see him dancing on the edge early. He picks up 3 or 4 fouls early, and so unfortunately, what that means is you really have to fall back, and you can't play the defense you need to down the stretch. So you can hope that he can maintain over the course of a long game, right, the ability to stay out of foul trouble and to be measured with that. But winning the rebounding game for Baylor is something that's going to be huge for them today. Watching games yesterday, it really was a lot of fun. The early games I thought were kind of crappy, right? Like I was doing some work stuff early on, and it turns out I didn't miss anything. And so the games I did watch were pretty exciting. I mean, I watched the two games that I was like locked in on. I watched McNeese earlier in the day. I watched a little bit of Auburn. I watched the big ones, the prime time, Thursday night prime time. Pitino and Calipari prime time. Calipari with Bill Self in the first game. And Kansas losing to Arkansas. Calipari advances. Pitino in the late game. St. John's against Omaha. Pitino advances. So now we got Pitino and Calipari going tomorrow. That game is at 1:40 Central Time on CBS. And a lot of fun. Steve Lapis and Andrew Catalan on that call. And, like, Lapis is one of my old Villanova guys. He was the assistant coach there when they won a championship with Rowley. And then when they won the title, then he was the head coach when Villanova, or I guess they were kind of a disappointment, but he had the job for 9 years. He had some really good teams, but they never made any real impact in the tournament. But Steve Lapis is a great dude, and he does a great job as an analyst for CBS, and Catalan does a tremendous job play-by-play. Pitino and Calipari do not like each other, and so that'll be a lot of fun to see them square off. We need a kind of like, I like the rivalry. I like these dudes apparently do not like each other. That is great. I love it. Two dudes from the Northeast. You got Calipari, like Pittsburgh dude, Western Pennsylvania, like grew up in a house with no money, is able to relate to a lot of the kids he recruits. And just a special dude, right? Like a guy that just worked his way out of a lower middle class situation. And now he's John Calipari. He's Cal, and he does a great job recruiting and does a really good job coaching. His assistants are awesome. They beat Bill Self yesterday. And Kansas, I feel bad for. I don't feel bad for Kansas. That's a weird thing about sports, too. Why do I feel bad for Bill Self? Like, I don't understand that. Like, the emotional, maybe there's something wrong with me. Like, I'm too empathetic. But, like, I should never feel bad for Bill Self. The guy has got an amazing life. Obviously, he's worked for everything he has. But, like, he's at the top of the mountain. And I'm like, oh, man, I feel bad for Bill Self. He lost. Like, who cares? He'll be all right. And so will Kansas fans. And I think that Kansas is just fine. I think that Bill Self is just fine. But some people pound their chest that don't like Kansas and don't believe in Bill Self. That program, what they've done, I think it speaks for itself. I'm not like here to analyze or take apart the Kansas basketball program because I just don't know enough. But I do know that there's been a lot of success there, and Bill Self has had a lot of success as a head coach. And, the sky isn't exactly falling right now. There may be some adjustments that a guy like Bill Self needs to make in recruiting, and I think that there'll probably be some rules coming down the pike that'll help him do that. But there's going to be a lot of changes, too. A lot of coaching changes this offseason, and there's a lot to keep an eye on there. But the fact that we got Calipari and that we have Pitino playing late night or Saturday afternoon, after late night games for St. John's particularly. And it was fun. St. John's was tight early. And I was talking to King McClure yesterday about this. Like, when you're the favorite in one of those games, like last night, St. John's a 15 seed playing Omaha a 2. There's a lot of hype around your team. When you go out and you play, you have that rough first half or you have that slow first 4 or 5 minutes, you're missing shots. You're down 8-0, or last night St. John's was down 7-0, and there was like a quick timeout from Patino. And I asked King yesterday flat out, I was like, do you get nervous like when that happens? And he told a story that they had, and you guys remember this, but the Baylor lost to Yale, was upset. That was King's freshman year. And he said it was like it was kind of really like a jarring situation, and he was kind of shocked. But he moved right off that. And he said our next year we're playing New Mexico in the first round, and it was really tight in the first half. And he said this on the air, so I'm not like, it wasn't like it was off the record. But he said, if people tell you that they don't get nervous, like those players on those top-seeded teams, if they tell you that they don't get nervous in those moments, they're lying. Like, you get nervous in those moments. And when you're down to a team in the second half, the instance he was talking to me about, and I don't know if he said that they were up or down at halftime, but they're playing New Mexico. And, they're in the locker room at halftime after losing to Yale the year before, and they're like, we have got to get our hands around this. Like he said, you could feel the pressure. But they came out in the second half, and I guess they overwhelmed New Mexico in that game. I don't remember watching it, but they got it together and took care of business. But there's the little performance anxiety around playing in the NCAA tournament. No, not one player on St. John's had played in the tournament before last night. So there is some of these growing pains that happen right before our eyes in the NCAA tournament that are really cool. And the more we get into these tournaments, the more we get to wrap our arms around storylines and stuff. I don't know if I necessarily saw one yesterday that I fell in love with. For me, so far, Cincinnati playing at home has been a big one. Zach, you have any storylines?
I was just going to add in a couple comments we had that we had gotten
let's
from.
go.
Yeah.
When you see Zach's face closing in on that microphone, like it started up the Jaws music. Man. I was like, all right, what we got going, Zach?
Some questions and stuff from Bear the Truth that I want to get your opinion on.
Yeah.
We missed this from the last segment, but after interest from Kentucky and Indiana, do you think there's any scenario in which Scott Drew would leave Waco?
I don't. It was crazy. We were talking earlier. I was talking with somebody about like the Texas job is open. Like, that would be like a crime against humanity, right? Like if Scott Drew were to take that job. But I don't believe there's a scenario in which he leaves. Especially, people will still, if there's a big job, people would be foolish not to try to get Scott Drew. But in a weird way for Baylor fans, like he's not like the hottest guy on the market right now. So that actually almost. The fact that Baylor didn't live up to their top 10 potential this year sort of helps your situation and stability at coach, if that makes any sense. So I believe that unless if Baylor makes a run to the title, right, and then could he be a late candidate? No, there's no more good jobs. I don't see a scenario where he leaves Waco. I'm trying to be very open-minded about that answer, but no, I don't see it.
I got you. He agreed with you on if Mississippi State is on pace to score 70 to 80 points, that Baylor's going to have trouble with players fouling out.
Yes, that's a real issue. That's a very real issue. But I think Bear the Truth would admit too, like we have seen Baylor get a lot better, just as far as like being connected on the floor. Langston Love playing big minutes now, being back, right? That's a guy who every game is like day to day. Like, but the fact that he's been playing some minutes late in the season, and you could see, his play has been spotty, right? Like as far as his ability or availability. But when he's been on the floor, he has found a way to grow and connect with his teammates. Like he hadn't played with any of those guys really up until like February of this year. He's the most elder statesman guy on the team, the most veteran guy on the team, and he had hardly played with any of these guys. So that's something you really take into consideration. All right, Baylor's getting set to tip off. We're going to take one last break. We'll come back and wrap things up. The Pete Sousa Show, the Alico Building in Waco, Texas, presented by Slovagics, rolls on after this.
We'll be right back after these quick words from our sponsors. This is Rogue Media Network.
Get ready for epic savings at Best Buy. Right now, you can save up to $700 on select Alienware and Dell gaming products. Perfect for leveling up your gaming experience. Plus, grab the latest Android Google Pixel at an unbeatable price. Don't miss these incredible deals. Shop now at bestbuy.com and upgrade your tech today. made faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. Overwhelmed by your inbox? Clean Email is here to help. Organize, clean, and manage your emails with powerful automation tools. Say goodbye to spam and clutter and enjoy a stress-free inbox. Try Clean Email today at cleanemail.com. That's CLEAN email.com. Easy Sun has been living fearlessly under the sun since 2016. Born from sailors' need for convenient sun protection, our mineral sunscreen is crafted with natural ingredients offering broad spectrum protection against UVA and UVB rays. Safe for your skin and the environment, stay protected on the go with Easy Sun, your ultimate sun care solution. Visit EasySun.com today. That's EEZYSUN.com. Stay connected no matter where you are with eSIM-X. Say goodbye to expensive roaming charges and physical SIM cards. With access to over 200 global carriers, we make mobile connectivity seamless and affordable for travelers worldwide. Join the future of communication today at eSIMX.com. That's ESIMX.com.
And now, back to our show.
All right, the Pete Sousa Show is back here. Final segment. The Baylor Bears getting ready to tip things off. By the way, the Baylor Bears women's team, if you're curious as far as handicapping is concerned, they are a 15.5-point favorite today at home against Grand Canyon. I can tell you I was not happy with all the, I call it riffraff, I guess you might call them college basketball fans, that were downtown in Waco last night, making noise to loud music till late, into the morning hours. It's like outside, I can hear it kind of coming through my walls. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And it wasn't like a lame It was like you hear that and then you walk over to the window and you're like, God damn, there's people down there. Like there were people all over. Moving and grooving and making noise. That is like, that stuff is your parents, when they told you not to go out after 12, nothing good happens. People are drinking and then they're activating and they're moving around, they're making noise and they're getting into trouble. That is something I had no concept of or understanding of when I was younger. I can promise you that because I was the Pied Piper down there in the streets, but man, much different now. So Baylor's women's team, and it really is cool that the women's tournament is here. The first two rounds. There was I was downtown yesterday at Baylor Scott and White, and in that complex, staying right around there, I saw an Ole Miss bus, and their women's team is here. So it's all good. It's cool, man. I mean, it's really cool to have March Madness underway, and to have a touchdown in Waco is really cool. I have a good feeling about the women's team. I do also have high hopes, but low expectations. I think that Nikki Collin, Kim Mulkey matchup in the regional final would just be amazing. I just think it will be amazing. So we'll be hoping for that one. By the way, I got a baseball game tonight. Baylor and Kansas State, 6 o'clock, ESPN Plus. So it'll be fun to be out there. At both Baylor games, we'll have wrapped up by then. I really hope to be talking to you on Monday. Could you imagine if we're talking on Monday about Baylor going to the Sweet 16? I mean, could you imagine? It's almost like it'd be a secret. But I feel like there's some stuff going on. There's some stuff in place. So enjoy the Baylor game today. That'll do it for us today. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for hanging with us a little later than usual. Like and subscribe. The Pete Sousa Show is presented by Slovacics. Yeah, that's it. We'll check you out on Monday. Thanks for joining us.
It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at 70 miles an hour. I was injured, had a concussion. The insurance company, they delayed. They were playing games from the initial conversation. They weren't going to help me. The biggest thing I learned through this is that you can't go through this alone. I called Daniel Stark. They were going to help me and everything was going to be all right. Daniel Stark got me 10 times the insurance company offered.
The difference is stark.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internex.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. At Acasis, innovation drives us. Since 2008, we've been creating cutting-edge technology products that make your life easier. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today. We are Rogue Media Sports.